Bonjour! In this video, I want to talk about les prépositions à et de. These are two very important prepositions that we use in French in a particular way, but you're also going to know that they do undergo some changes. If you look at the chart on page 80, 80 of your book, you will notice that with a, they become certain kind of contractions. So the a and the le become o, that AU. The a and the le become the AUX, o. A la stays a la, and a l'apostrophe is if you have a vowel. The de does the same thing when you put it together with an article. So the de le becomes du. The de les becomes de. De la can stay the same, and de l'apostrophe comes in front of a vowel. Now on page 80, they do tell you different things about the prepositions a and de and what they indicate and some of the verbs that you will use them with. So you'll want to read through that. One thing that you will want to note on page 81 is the verb jouer, because the verb jouer we use both a and de, but it's used in different ways. So jouer a is when you're talking about playing sports or a game. Jouer de means you're playing a musical instrument, and you're going to see that in some of these examples. So first we're going to look at this first example. It says, Camille téléphone à Sophie. So I can use the a if I'm simply stating somebody's name, à Sophie. But if I'm calling the professor, that's going to be an à le. Instead of à le, I'm going to change my a and my le to au prof, ou au professeur, if you prefer to keep the long form of professor. And then we can say Camille téléphone aux amis, right? Because we're talking about more than one friend. So that's the a and the les, aux amis. And Camille téléphone au restaurant. There's our a and our le again, au restaurant. In the next example, we're going to see elle aime jouer. So here's our jouer verb. And we can say jouer au football, because that would be jouer à le football. But we're not going to say à le, we're going to say au. Now we're going to see it with a musical instrument. Elle aime jouer du piano. So instead of jouer de le piano, we're going to say du piano. And then we're going to see elle aime jouer aux cartes. So again, instead of the a, les, we're going to say au with our x because cartes is plural. And here again, we have another sport. So elle aime jouer not à le basket, but we're going to change that à le to au. Elle aime jouer au basket. And then finally, on the very bottom, we see another musical instrument. Elle aime jouer de la guitare. That one we don't have to make any changes because it's la guitare, it's feminine, so we can use that de la guitare. So you want to check on whether things are masculine, whether they are plural, and whether they have vowels, and that will help you choose the correct one. So again, read through those pages on 80 and 81. That will give you a lot more detail, but I'm hoping these few examples will also help. Please let me know if you have any questions.